Griffith here. Now let me show you what I've been doing. Have a look at this. This is my ML270 W163, and I've taken this seat out. That seat's folded down, but the smaller seat I've taken out, and here, this line here is power that goes all the way to the front battery. It goes in here and underneath, and I make use of these bolt holes here, here, and here, and this one here. So that one there is the battery, connects to the battery at the front. On the other end it's fused, and it's fused in my box, which I'll show you in the tick as well. And this one's just a ground lead that goes down to there. There was this little D latch here. This used to be over here on the back seat, a tie down for like baby chairs and stuff, but I moved it here and made this special latch, special strap here, and I'll show you what that is about in a tick. Now the other thing worth noting is this plug. I've taped it all up, but beforehand this plugs into the seat, so I can detect whether someone's sitting in there, so I can run all the airbag system. So there's airbags in the seats back here, and when I pulled the seat off, I just measured it on the seat to see how many ohms I had on the seat, and it was 470 ohms, and I put a 470 ohm resistor in the end of this plug, and I just stuck it in there. So that stopped any error codes coming up. This is the auxiliary battery I'm using. It's exactly the same size. It goes in the front. I was lucky enough to pick up a Mercedes one, and it's a, what they call it, AGM battery, VLRA battery, which is good. And this is the power box that I'm putting in. So it's roughly the orientation that it'll fit in, and you can see it's got a lot of its storage. On this side we've got power. So we've got 240 volts, obviously. This switch here overrides the dual battery system to connect the front and rear batteries. Just say if the back battery's full and your main battery's flat, you want it to jump start it. This one will be for the solar panels. That's the solar panel input. Voltage for your auxiliary battery output. These are XT60 connectors. If you're a hobbyist, you know what they are. And that's 12 volt connected to the auxiliary battery, and this voltmeter connects to the front battery, just so I know what's going on. And then on the top I've got more power that'll show up next to the seat, and this middle switch turns that inverter on and off. It also turns on and off this fan over here. And then at the front we've got voltage for the auxiliary battery again. This switch turns this whole module off, and we've got USBs here and here, and another 12 volt socket there. Okay, and they're all nice and flush. So there's a switch there to turn the inverter on and off, and also another one up in here. You've got to have them both off for it all to be off. Anyway, and underneath, this isn't pretty, but once it's put in, this gets screwed down. So you never really see this. There's a solar controller in the back there that's been used and tested. It sort of melted a bit in the sun, but it's been working pretty good. This is my auxiliary battery, my battery isolator, my intelligent isolator. Focus. I'll put some specs for that up on the screen. And down the bottom there you can see the inverter. That inverter's already gone around Australia once with me, so it works pretty good. Big stonking switch here, which does the battery connection. It doesn't carry a lot of current, that switch. That just switches, auxiliary switch for the aux main thing, and then forces those closed. Fuse box there. I'm running 3 30 amp fuses in parallel and another 30 amp fuse to run all the ancillary, but the 3 30 amp in parallel is just safety for that big fat wire in case it shorts out with the chassis. And all my other wiring in there. Yeah, it's a bit messy, but it all makes sense. And room in here for that battery. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in, and yeah, we'll fit this and I'll show you how it all fits. One important feature of this module and all the other ones that I put in this car is that I don't want to modify the car itself. So I've taken the seat out, and this thing is designed in such a way that it goes back in and it uses the same bolt holes that the seat is mounted with. I'm using 4 slightly longer bolts than the original bolts, so I've just put them aside, and they hold it down really quite firmly, and I'm just tightening them up here with a ratchet. Doesn't take too long, like shouldn't take too much time to swap it over, and if I ever need to get another car, I don't have to go through all this work again building it, although it'll only fit in the W163. Now, putting the battery in there, and I'm using a ratchet to hold the battery down. That ratchet is attached to the vehicle floor and to the other side on the plywood, and there's absolutely no chance that that's going to move. That's in there rock solid, and it also helps to hold down the whole module as well. Okay, the battery I'm using should be completely maintenance free. It's not one that bubbles hydrogen or anything like that, so it's safe to use in an enclosed space. And just doing the final wiring, and I'll hook up the fuses in the front off screen. Right, now it's screwed in to the body underneath. Really the only reason I need to open this up would be for maintenance or for further modifications, like if I want to add more features or something like that. I'm hoping the battery will last me quite a while if I'm careful with it. And done. Now we're putting the Engel fridge in. Again, this is held in by ratchets. I modified one side. I took the handle off and put a ratchet on instead. And I've also taken the feet off the fridge as well. Just moving the seat back into the seating position. I haven't taken the seat out or unbolted it. That's just how it is factory, and it fits in there really nice. That's it, all fitted. As you can see, I got the voltages down there. This one is indicating the front, the main batteries under the bonnet, and this is the battery that's in here at 12.3 volts. And may or may not be able to hear that. Our fridge is running. I'm running an Engel fridge. Very good, very reliable. I've got my little storage bins in there. 2 of them, they just clear the door, so they're just the right size there. There's 2 of them, another one in the back there, and then there's a little bit of storage there in front of the behind the driver's seat. This ratchet here is holding it down this side of the fridge, and then it sort of, you can see that it loops. This loops into that plywood there, so it's holding down the fridge good and proper. We don't want it to move around while we're driving. And then there's another one here, and that's attached to one of the Mercedes hard points down the back there. Now this whole back module is another story altogether. I'll go into that, but you know, I've now got, it's still a it's still a 3.5 seater, and bit of space. You got the power on the other side. I've noticed that green LED is way too bright. I might just pull that out and put a resistor in there, but that works well enough. 5 volts, all that there, power there. Remember that middle switch is turning the inverter on and off underneath, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with this little setup. It's taken a while, and the hardest bit is the fact that it's not square in here. Everything's all round and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, cheers. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please subscribe on my main channel. I normally do photography and stuff, but this is my expedition vehicle, which is going to help me be doing a whole lot of work in the future. Let's hope. Cheers. Catch you next time.